Hello there, my name is Sophie and welcome to today's video. I think this is the 22nd Vlogmas video. Today I thought I would talk about making a homemade advent calendar on a budget. I had the idea to make an advent calendar for my fiance, boyfriend, partner person in about October. I found the first screenshot of coming up with ideas on my phone the other day, and it was from October, and I started the whole thing by making just a list of 24 bullet points on my phone, and then kind of noting down any present ideas I came up with as I went. So the advent calendar I've made, well, I say made, I just bought things, but there's a whole thing. I gave him a little present every day. There's a wooden advent calendar, which I'll put a bit of footage in here, that I got from his mum actually, but we'll get to that. And then I wrote little clues with little poems as to where all the presents were hidden every day, and all the clues and the poems have a word that reads to make a secret message. So I'm going to talk through the whole process of thinking of all the presents, getting the actual calendar, writing the poems, thinking of the clues, etc, etc, from the beginning. So, like I said, at first I just had 24 numbers written in a note in my phone, and I would think of things that would be a nice festive gift that weren't too expensive, because if I was going to be buying 24 advent presents and then actual Christmas presents on the 25th, I didn't want to be spending bucket loads of money, but also I'm very much a person who doesn't like buying things for the sake of it. I want to give people things that are functional and useful, and if you're buying 24 little things, making sure they're all functional and useful is a challenge, but we got there in the end. The other thing is, as it is, today is the 21st as I'm filming this, so there's still 3 more days, so I don't want to reveal anything, because I don't think Lucas watches these videos, but just in case. Right, so I started making this list and I came up with ideas. So things like a bauble on the 1st of December. I bought him some Christmas socks and I got 3 pairs and I gave them as 3 gifts throughout the month. What else? I bought him a couple of face masks because they're functional, they're useful. He does like 12 to 13 hour shifts at work. And he's wearing a mask that whole time, so having a variety of face masks is useful and seasonal and kind of relevant to world life at the moment. I came up with all the present ideas, and from there I started ordering things. I tried to order off places like Etsy rather than Amazon, because there's been a lot of talk about shopping small and helping small businesses this year, so I did a lot of online orders. And on my list I put it in yellow highlighter when I'd ordered it, orange highlighter when it had arrived, not, you know, when you highlight things on your phone. So yellow when I'd ordered, orange when it had arrived, green when I'd wrapped it, and red when I'd given it to him. So I had a little system so I knew what I was still waiting on, what I needed to make, because there was a couple of things that I crafted, and so on. I knew fairly early on that there was a message that I wanted to reveal in these clues. When I was growing up, on like Easter and things, my mum would do little Easter egg hunts for me and my sister, and she would write these clues in little poems as to where things were hidden around the house, and we'd have to do this little Easter egg hunt and follow the clues and the poems, and then there'd be a present somewhere. But that's kind of where I got the idea from. So I wrote out my 25 word message that I wanted to write into these little poems. So then when I was writing the poems, I had to consider making it rhyme, which was a challenge. Rhymezone.com was clutch. And then I had to include the specific words, which I have put, I typed up all the clues and put them in the little drawers of the advent calendar, and I put the words for the message in red. I'm not revealing anything by saying that. Lucas figured out quite early on that there was a red word in every thing, in every poem, so he's figured out there is a message, he just doesn't know what it says yet. And obviously I'm not going to say that here. There's a few people that know and it's very exciting, but he doesn't know. Haha. Planned all the presents, wrote the message, wrote the poems that contained the message, printed them out, put them in the advent calendar, and there's your homemade advent calendar. It sounds a lot simpler than it was. It's taken a lot of organisation. Alongside having my list of presents, I also had to have a list of all the words I needed to include in the poems, where everything was hidden, and where the poems were a clue to where the presents are. I don't think I've worded that very well, but I hope you know what I mean. The other thing I would recommend if you're wanting to do an advent calendar, whether you're doing it on a budget or if it's something that you want to be more luxury and you've got the income for it, you do you. But I had a limit in my head of how much money I wanted to spend and how much I wanted to spend on each present, how I didn't want to go over a certain amount of money. And the easiest way to track that was to have an Excel document or a spreadsheet with a few of those, you know, when you put things in and then they add them up at the bottom. So I had, after I'd planned out what all the presents were, I listed them all in this spreadsheet, and I put in how much they were from what I'd found, and like if I needed to find cheaper alternatives. And then I had a little equation cell at the bottom that added it all up for me and told me how much I was spending. Other ways to save money if you're trying to do this on a budget is source what you can from friends and family, or making things, or making the most of what you already have. So my partner Lucas in passing mentioned that his mum had a wooden advent calendar that she'd bought for him when he went to uni that he never used, he never took it with him. So I then very sneakily messaged his mum and I was like, do you still have it? And she was like, yeah, come get it, it's fine. So I sneakily drove to his mum's house the next day and picked it up. I think that's kind of covered the basics of how I planned and made this advent calendar. I can make a more in-depth video after Christmas if you like, with everything I included, but I don't want to be too specific because everyone has different budgets. I definitely spent more money than I had this year, but you know when you just want to give the people you love the entire world and then you forget that your bank account can't afford that? That's kind of where I was, but it's gone down really, really well. He's really enjoying it, I hope. I've really enjoyed making it. Okay, my camera battery just died, but I was so close to the end that I thought I'd just finish it off on my phone. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for one of the last Vlogmas videos. Bye!